Well, the crypto market is in the red today, with most cryptos in the top 100 and 200 down anywhere from 3 to 10%. Now, I'm seeing a lot of people give their reasonings and thoughts as to why this pullback is happening, but quite frankly, I think that the reason is extremely simple, and I think a lot of people are blowing this pullback out of proportion. So, in today's video, what I want to do is kind of just go over my thoughts as to why I think the crypto market's pulling back and exactly what I'm expecting next. I do think this is going to be a bit of a quick video today, so let's not waste any more time. Let's get straight into it, and don't forget, if you're trading any crypto at all, first thing, be careful. Second thing, you can get up to $10,000 in bonuses and lower trading fees if you check out the link to BTCC down below. Feel free to check it out. It's where I do all my trading, and I think you'll like it. So let's just take a look at what's happening in the top 100. And again, you can see what it looks like. Outside of M and Pump, most cryptos are down anywhere from 3 to 5%. And somehow this move right here has made everyone freak out. Like, I'm seeing so much on Twitter, people calling it a crypto dump and crypto's dumping and Bitcoin's heading to 100K. And sure, it might be, but not because of this. Like, this isn't the trigger point that says Bitcoin's going to 100K right now. This is really just a little bit of a cool down, a bit of a pullback, a rejection, as I'm about to cover in a second here. Now, the truth as to why the crypto market is pulling back doesn't lie in any news, right? We've not seen anything fundamentally change. There hasn't been any news. Quite simply, why this has happened is because Bitcoin and Ethereum both just got rejected off very big levels of resistance. That's it. Like, that's the primary reason as to why the crypto market is in the red today. Now, let me show you what I mean, okay? So, as you all know, let's start off with Bitcoin. As you all know, when it comes to Bitcoin, my thesis here has been quite simple. I said, listen, Bitcoin's price is in this ascending triangle. It was in this ascending triangle. It broke to the downside of that ascending triangle. And now that it's broken to the downside, what Bitcoin is going to try to do is it's going to try to come down, try to find some support in one of these 3 bounce zones, and then use one of those bounce zones to try to make a run back to the top side. That's what I think is going to happen here. And so what did I do? I laid out the 3 bounce zones for you. I said the first one ranges between 111 and 106.7. The next one is at $98.4 thousand, and the third one is between 90.4 and 82.6K. I think Bitcoin's going to trickle its way down to one of or all of these, I suppose, and it's going to try to find some support. It could be this one, it could be this one, it could be this one. I don't care. I still think it's going to try to find some support there. And what I've told you is that as Bitcoin tries to bounce out of these support zones, it's not just going to go straight up, right? And what I told you all is, look, I'm not just going to go all in every time it hit a bounce zone, because the truth is it's not going to just be an easy ride. No, Bitcoin's going to have battles. There's going to be tests, and the bulls are going to have to put some work in to overcome those tests to actually use this as a bounce zone to go upwards. For example, 2 days ago on Instagram, 2 days ago, I pointed out the $112,000 level. I said, listen, now that Bitcoin's price has come back in the red zone, it's going to try to find some support and work its way up. And we started to see it work its way up. And I said, look, this is a great sign. It shows that the bulls are stepping in and they are trying to push the price a little bit higher. But you need to be aware. There's battles in front of us. There's things that the bulls are going to have to overcome. And the first one is going to be this previous point of support right here at $112,000. I said in that video, I said, listen, this is going to be a hard point to get over. So you need to watch closely whether or not Bitcoin can get above 112 or not, because that's going to decide what the next few days from that point looks like. And what did Bitcoin do? It rallied all the way up. It went straight up to $112,000. And then guess what? It ran into resistance and got rejected back towards the downside. So Bitcoin ran into a very hard battle. It ran into that battle, got rejected. The bulls lost, the bears won for the time being, and Bitcoin's price got pushed to the downside. Now, what's that going to do? It's going to negatively impact the rest of the market. If Bitcoin pulls back a little bit, the market oftentimes will pull back a little bit more. And when you go look at what happened with Ethereum, guys, it was a very, very similar picture. When we look at what happened with Ethereum, if this thing will load here, you can see that Ethereum's story is a little bit different, but in many capacities, it is the same. ETH's price came back down. It built in this low, it pushed up towards the high, and then what happened? It comes back down to the ascending structure, this ascending support. It establishes support. It tries to push higher. And I told you on the Instagram video about Ethereum. I said, look, now that Ethereum is pushing back up, what do we need to do? We need to see it break this previous point of resistance. If it can do that, it will now then start to actually have a chance of creating an uptrend, breaking out of this downtrend, creating an uptrend that will hopefully lead ETH back up towards the top side of this channel. I said, but if it gets rejected off this resistance point, that could be bad, and we might head back down to this channel or lower. And what does ETH do? ETH runs right up to this previous point of resistance and puts the exact resistance point on that exact level that we were watching. And guess what? ETH got rejected. So Bitcoin got rejected and ETH got rejected. And what happens to the market when Bitcoin and ETH both get rejected? The whole market gets rejected and everything starts to fall. And so when everybody's coming out here saying that this is an early signal that we're going to see a major sell-off because people are starting to sell as a result of what they're expecting from interest rate cuts, I don't agree. I think think this is a very, very, very basic rejection that we saw of Bitcoin and Ethereum. Okay, and what's also happening at the same time is that I would like to get this pulled up. Hopefully, it'll load here. What is happening at the same time is nothing's changing, right? Look at this. The odds of a rate cut are actually going up. They were at 95% yesterday. They're at 97% today. So it's not like people just don't think interest rate cuts are coming. It's not like there's anything big, any big news. It's not like Trump's done anything. The only thing I saw Trump do was tweet something about Cracker Barrel, baby. There's nothing happening right now. This is a simple rejection that's pushing the prices of assets down right now, period. It is a technically sound move. It is a normal move. So what do we expect next? Well, you look for the battle for the higher low. That's all that's about to happen. Bitcoin, ETH, and most of these other alts, I don't know why this is taking so long to load, but what they're doing right now is they're going in and they're going to try to put in a higher low. So what's going to happen is Bitcoin's price is going to come back down. It might trickle all the way back down to like 108 or 108.5 or whatever, and it's going to try to find the higher low and reapproach that 112. I'd be shocked if it doesn't do this, okay? I think what's going to happen is it's going to try to put in a higher low, and it's going to maybe try to rally back up towards 112. I think at this given point, there's still a pretty good chance that that happens. For example, if Bitcoin's price comes back down to say 109 to 108.4 and hits this gold zone, yeah, I think the bulls are going to step in, and you're going to see some strength probably pick up right here, in which they're probably going to see it try to rally back towards the top side. Now, if it fails to do that, if Bitcoin just clears it straight through the golden box down here below 108.4K, then loses 107, guess where we're headed? We're heading back to 105. We're heading back to 104. That's just where this bad boy's probably going to go. You're probably going to see a move like this before it tries to make another run back to the upside. But I do still think that run to the upside is going to happen. So what do you need to be looking for Bitcoin? Whether or not it can hold support above 109.3 to 108.4, above or within this golden zone. If it can do that, we're still in a good spot. And Bitcoin easily could do this, guys. It easily could make this move. Same thing with Ethereum. This is going to take a second to load. But whenever you go in and you look at Ethereum, all you're looking for is whether or not it's going to be capable of creating the higher low right now and maintaining in the structure. Go in, draw your golden Fibonacci zone. If you don't know how to use the Fibonacci zones, go download the playbook down below. I can teach you for free. Okay? You come back down. ETH's price is going to come back down. It's going to interact with this golden Fibonacci zone. It's going to interact with this ascending level of support. And what's it going to do? It's going to try to use the support to continue back up and break above that key level of resistance at $4,500. That's what it wants to do. That's what it's, I think, going to try to do. If it fails, if it loses the ascending level of support, if it falls below the golden zone, guess where we're going? We're probably coming back to $4,000, if not $3,859. Okay? So it's not this big mystical conspiracy right now. No. These assets got rejected off major zones of resistance. They're coming back down to try to find a support base that will allow them to clear it. If they fail to establish that support, they're going to fall. Okay? The whole market's going to come crumbling down if Bitcoin and ETH lose these two key points of support. If they hold those supports, I think they're going to try to rally back up and maybe even try to make a run back to the upside. And this pullback today would have been nothing but a liquidity hunt and a liquidity sweep to the downside, right? We go up, we get people in, everybody starts thinking we're going to go up, then the liquidity sweep happens, then it rallies. I think that's still very possible, and it will be determined if ETH and Bitcoin can find support. ETH needs to find it on 43.1 to 42.6 and maintain this higher low, right? Maintain this higher ascending level of support. And then Bitcoin's price is very similar as well. This bad boy simply just needs to be able to maintain that support right here in the Fibonacci golden zone. That ranges between, let's go ahead and let it load. Don't know what's going on with the internet today, guys. Between 109.3 and 108.4, okay? So for the next 24 hours, all you need to do is watch those two key levels of support. That's all that matters. Watch this level of support for Bitcoin. Draw it in right now. Watch the same for ETH. Draw it in right now and just chill out. Everybody freaking out on Twitter. They're blowing this out of proportion. I think they're probably just going to get people liquidated for no reason. So I'll keep you updated as this does play out. But in the meantime, this is not a big deal. Typical rejection, attempt to find a higher low, could be a liquidity sweep. We'll know in like 24 hours. So I'll update you there, but hopefully this does calm some of your nerves. I'll see you all tomorrow. Peace.